An outspoken Trump supporter is filing a sexual assault complaint against Trump's former aide and an individual who helped with his campaign, Corey Lewandowski. She claims that Corey Lewandowski slapped her in the butt twice during an event celebrating Trump's first year in office. Her name is Joy Villa, and you might be familiar of Villa during the campaign when she wore a Make America Great Again dress and essentially defended her decision to do so on Instagram. She's a singer of Argentinian and Italian descent, and there is the dress that I was talking about.
That was at the Grammys, by the way.
That was at the Grammys, yes, and she got a lot of attention for that. Now, I don't know whether or not she's still supportive of Trump. That's not what this story's about, but it is about her filing a complaint with Washington's Metropolitan Police Department on Christmas Eve in regard to the sexual assault allegations against Corey Lewandowski. Here is what she told the press about the situation. "I'm wearing this silver suit and stretchy pants, and after the photo, he smacks my ass really hard. It was completely demeaning and shocking." Now, they were posing for a photo together. She continues to say, after Villa threatened to report him for sexual harassment, Lewandowski reportedly replied, "Go ahead, I work in the private sector." And then at that point, she alleges that he smacked my ass again. So she initially didn't want to come forward with these accusations because she was worried about backlash from Trump supporters. However, one of her friends went public with what happened, and a lot of her friends were urging her to report what occurred. And so after that, she decided to file charges with file these accusations with police.
Every once in a while, conservative women are shocked and chagrined to find out that conservative men don't really respect them and treat them with the same way that they treat guys. So we did the story a little while ago about the alt-right women who were shocked to find out that the men thought that they should immediately be barefoot and pregnant, and one was getting criticism for not being married and pregnant by the age of 23, and the others seemed like they were not being respected for their actual talents and ideas. Another one complained online the other day that they were sending her nonstop penis pictures. Really? Alt-right guys, right-wing guys sending you those kind of pictures nonstop. I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay, now, of course, guys, look, this is not strictly a conservative thing. Of course, we've seen the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. We've seen monsters from all ends of the political spectrum. Okay, but Corey Lewandowski is a guy who, this is not his first police charge from the campaign, from just the last couple of years. Remember, of course, he faced misdemeanor battery for what he did to a right-wing female reporter
from Breitbart.
Which then caused a huge rift at Breitbart. She eventually left there. The charges were later dropped, but it doesn't, just because shouldn't be surprised by it, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean like, so he should have never done it and she's pursuing charges, good.
Yeah, I'm glad she's pursuing charges, and I know that the backlash can be intimidating and scary, but regardless of who you're filing these charges against, it's important to come forward and fight because this type of behavior is unacceptable. Now, Corey Lewandowski was asked about this situation on Fox Business, and here is his reply and his way of trying to weasel himself out of this situation or answering the question. Take a look.
Of course, I'd like to have your response to Villa's accusations.
Well, Charles, I think as someone who's been through this, you understand that there is a due process and there is a process which they will go through to determine a person's innocence, which I think you've been through, and you understand it and you respect it.
Yeah, I think everyone understands and respects it in this, but a lot of people are wondering why someone who is so close to President Trump as you are, someone who's been rooting for President Trump like Joy has, what would motivate her? What do you think is motivating her with these accusations where she says she has at least 2 witnesses?
Charles, that's a question for her. I'm not here to speak for Joy. What I am here to do is to speak for me. And what I am going to do is to let the process play forward, just as you did when you're accused of sexual harassment in your own case.
So Charles Payne has been accused of sexual harassment by Scotty Nell Hughes.
But he was cleared.
He was cleared, yeah. And so Corey Lewandowski tries to deflect by talking about Charles Payne and what he went through. But he didn't deny the accusations in that interview, which I thought was interesting. He just kept talking about due process, due process. So I thought that was telling.
So let's just clarify a couple of things. So I've defended a couple of Fox News anchors on this before, as I have ripped into others that were guilty, like Roger Ailes, the guy who ran Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, who had all those settlements for the sexual harassment that he did. But people will every once in a while throw Sean Hannity in the mix, and I got no love for Sean Hannity. I think he's a bad guy. I think his program is terrible, et cetera, but no one's ever accused him of anything. So I think it's totally unfair to lump him in with the others. Charles Payne got accused but was cleared. And so, and you know why Lewandowski went on there, just so he can say, as you know, Charles, it wasn't an accident that he picked that show to answer the charges to. And it's kind of a skeevy move, and it puts Charles Payne in a bad spot because he was clear of the charges. But it makes it seem like, oh yeah, we're all innocent, or we're all in this together. And Payne's like, well, I mean, she says she has 2 witnesses. He's doing the right thing there. I might disagree with Charles Payne on other stuff, but he's asking the right questions. And so, and look, his reply about a due process, well, everybody, like, no one is saying you shouldn't get due process. Of course, I mean, these are criminal charges, sexual assault. Should Corey Lewandowski get due process? Of course he should. Nobody's saying lock him up without any due process, right? But what Charles Payne, a Fox business anchor there, is asking you is, yeah, that's fine, you're gonna get due process, but did you do it? And I guess he didn't want to answer it, but if he didn't, then he probably shouldn't have got on the show.
Yeah, totally agree. Well, I think that this is yet another example of a woman being mistreated in a pro-Trump environment. And so again, like as you said, it shouldn't be that surprising. I mean, their rhetoric is reinforced by their actions, and Corey Lewandowski doesn't seem to be very apologetic or remorseful for anything that he's ever done.
If you want to get the whole Young Turks show every single day, become a member, tytnetwork.com/join. And once you do, you'll be saying,
you know, I'm like a smart person.
Or you might say,
I think it's weird.
Or you might say,
oops.
No, that won't be that one. It won't be that one. It'll be great, trust me. tytnetwork.com/join.